Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to share with you a theory of mine. Now, it is just speculation on my part, but there is some logic to it, so I'm going to present it to you. It's about Elon Musk and about why I think he bought Twitter. Now, he's actually just been asked this question on the, Twitter Spaces or whatever it's called. I'm going to play a little bit of that now, and as it's going, I'll pause it and I'll give commentary on it. Now, he's kind of answered the question, but I don't know if the answer is really what he gave. But not, I don't know. In my opinion, I think I know the reason he bought Twitter personally. I might be wrong. It's just speculation on my part, but we'll get into that now. So what I'm going to do here is just play from, I think it's 2 hours, 25 minutes and 20 seconds, and he's about to be asked a question about, was there a single thing? Was there something that's like the straw that broke the camel's back that made him think, yeah, I'm going to buy Twitter? So let's just see what he has to say. So it's actually around about 2 hours, 25 and a bit. I think it's nearly 2 hours, 26, if I've got this right.
Well, yeah, like I said, we'll do whatever is possible within the bounds of the law. So, I have a personal question, and I've been curious, was there a breaking point that made you decide you want to buy Twitter? Man, that's a good question. Thank you.
I'll just pause it there for a second. Notice there's quite a long silence there, and he says, that's a good question. So he's thinking about this. He's thinking about how he wants to answer it, which says to me he's not necessarily going to give the actual truthful answer straight off. He's thinking that maybe the truthful answer, it's just my opinion, that the truthful answer, if he just blurted it out, he knows maybe not the best idea to disclose publicly. But I'll let this continue playing.
I was hoping you would say the child exploitation that you've done more to get rid of in the past month than they did in the past 10 years on Twitter.
So that's great. I'm not sure who that is chipping in, but she makes a great point because Elon has done that. And she's kind of hoping that was the answer. It would be nice if that was the answer, but that's a great thing that he's doing regardless. I don't think that's why he bought Twitter, but I think that's an added bonus of him buying Twitter.
And I wanted to thank you for that, and I'm sorry that the media has completely snubbed you on mentioning the fact that you guys have gone above and beyond to make that happen. And Eliza Blue, thank you for your work and efforts there.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank Eliza Blue. I would like to thank Andrea as well.
So that's given him even more time to think about his answer there. So he's thanking those people.
We've actually had, this is actually like a really good case of crowdsourcing of having people on Twitter actually help solve the child exploitation stuff.
So that's helped him deflect from the question. He hasn't answered it yet, so he's kind of moving on to another topic. And I think in a moment they do ask him again, so I'll just continue playing.
It is true. Yes, Twitter's done more to stop child exploitation in the last month than probably the last 10 years. That's insane. It kind of blows my mind, frankly. And we're going to keep doing it, and it's always going to be number one. I mean, it's like kids can't defend themselves, so we must defend them as adults.
Good point, Elon. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mario, we can't hear you.
So I'll just pause it there. They're having some issues with the audio. This guy, Mario, who's trying to ask a question. I think he gets it in a second.
You sound like a mosquito now.
Sounds like he's in the toilet, to be honest.
Elon, do you still have plans to drop the W? Everyone is asking.
So again, another question that's gone away from the original question, but I do think they do get back to it in a moment.
Technically, the poll did come out positive on that. So
the people have spoken.
No, the people have not spoken. But more to my question, I don't think you answered that. I want to know, what was the breaking point? I think a lot of people want to know this one. What was the breaking point that made you want to buy Twitter?
Big silence here.
Well, first of all, I suppose if Twitter had been, if I'd been able to buy Twitter sooner, then I might have actually
Notice here, I've just paused it for a second. Quite a lot of stammering and stuttering. I think more so than normal for Elon. I think he's either a little bit flustered here or trying to come up with the reason that isn't the actual reason. I'll get into my theory in a minute, but I'll let him continue.
But there had to be a situation where my liquidity was enough and Twitter's value was, whether there was essentially a closing price. Like, would I actually have my
So he's stuttering and stammering and falling over himself a little bit here. But I think what he was trying to say here is he was waiting for his liquidity of asset or available liquid funds to be enough going up, where it meets the Twitter's value coming down, where he was in a place where he could potentially buy Twitter. He sort of mentioned that had he had the opportunity to buy Twitter earlier, he would have loved, kind of like, to have had Twitter by the sounds of it. This is just my interpretation of what he's saying here. But there came this point where he could. Again, I'm going to talk about the timing of something else a little bit later as to why I don't think this is the genuine reason. It's part of, obviously, the reason. He has to be able to be in a position to buy Twitter in order to think about it. Yeah, there's been a lot of him stammering over his words more than he usually does, and I'll get into that in a second.
That wasn't the case until recently. But I guess it just felt like it really had been building for some time. So I wouldn't say it wasn't like a step change suddenly. This is one thing. It's not like, the Babylon B got banned, that's why it went through. That would be crazy.
Did you get that? He's suddenly denying. It's not like it's just because the Babylon B got banned and that's the reason why. That would be crazy. Methinks you do protest too much there, Elon. That's actually my theory. Now, I might be wrong. And there are many good reasons why Elon would want to own Twitter. But I personally think that the main thing actually is the Babylon B. The Babylon B getting yeeted from Twitter, which is absolutely ridiculous because it's always been parody, nobody mentioned the Babylon B until that point. He wasn't asked about it. Nobody said, was the Babylon B getting suspended from Twitter the straw that broke the camel's back? Nobody said any of that. Elon's just gone from kind of obfuscating, stammering, stuttering about like liquidity and price, and then this, and then straight into a denial of, oh no, it's not about that. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? And so I'll get into a little bit more now as to why I think actually deep down that was probably the straw that broke the camel's back, was probably the Babylon B. So, and again, I'll just preface this with I might be wrong. This is just my personal opinion. So one of the reasons I thought this is I thought I'd go back and look over the timing of this. Now, the Babylon B got suspended from Twitter on the 20th of March this year. So Elon here, he said, he tweeted rather, on the 25th of March, so literally only a few days after, 5 days later, free speech is essential to a functional democracy. Do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle? And he set this poll. 70.4% said no, they don't believe that Twitter was adhering to that principle, and 29.6% said yes. I don't know who those people are, but yeah, like as if Twitter obviously wasn't functioning in that way. So 25th of March, literally just 5 days later after the Babylon B got yeeted, and then he put, as a follow-up to this poll, when he was doing it, said the consequences of this poll will be important. Please vote carefully. So he's in my mind, he's already considering this seriously at this point. I think after that he tweeted, "Is a new platform needed?" or something like that. Then it was like the next day, and so this to me is the timing of this is perfect. So I think his sort of frustrations with Twitter had been sort of growing, and then the Babylon B gets yeeted on the 20th. 5 days later, he does this poll, and I think it was the Babylon B, personally. And I really hope that it is. Now, that would beg the question, rather, is to why then would Elon try and obfuscate that if that was the truth? If it is genuinely the Babylon B, why would he not just come out and say it? He's usually, I think, or he says he's, wanting to be open to the truth. He's kind of like wanting the truth to be known in terms of Twitter and stuff. But I can see why. I can see why he would have good reason not to if it was the truth. And that's because if he says on this public conversation that he's having that actually, yeah, the Babylon Bee, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Can you imagine how the press would run with that and try and make out that he's so crazy? This crazy guy spends 44 billion just to get back a parody account he likes that he didn't like getting was being censored and stuff like that. I'm sure they would use that against him and try and paint him like just try and attack him, relentlessly about that. Just my personal opinion. That's what I think would happen if he let slip. Now I might be wrong. It might not. It might have only been a small factor into why he wanted to buy Twitter. I mean, there are many good reasons for him to have it in terms of like financially to turn it around into a profitable business. His principles on free speech and an open dialogue for democracy, and how we need that for humanity really, moving forwards. Yeah, to not have really bad censorship. He does seem to be a man of that principle. But there's part of me that really hopes that deep down he's just like, no, I'm the richest guy in the world, and you're not getting rid of my parody thing that I like to see off on the most famous sort of public square. Twitter is the kind of public, what do they call it, like the place where people come to talk, the public square. And I just like the idea of him just being like, nah, you're not getting rid of Babylon Bee. They're clearly parody. I'm not going to let you guys spoil this for everyone and suspend these obviously comedic people. And I hope that is the reason. I really do. So that's my theory. So my theory is that the Babylon Bee really probably was the straw that broke the camel's back and made Elon think, I've had enough of this. I'm going to have to do something about this. Now, obviously, he's not saying that on this recording, on this conversation. So I might be wrong. But it's just the way he answered it. There was the delays, obfuscation, going to a different subject, coming back, stuttering, stammering, and then the denial of it. Like, oh no, it wouldn't be that, would it? That would be crazy. It just makes me think more and more. It was definitely that, wasn't it? Allegedly, just look, my opinion. I don't want to get sued, especially by Elon. I really like the guy. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. If you've got any other thoughts on why you think he bought Twitter, whether you think that was it, whether you think there was another reason, collection of reasons. I actually do think it's probably a collection of things, but maybe the Babylon Bee was the final straw. That's my opinion. And yeah, I kind of like the thought that was it. That Twitter may have shot itself in the foot just because they had to just go that one step too far and suspend an obvious parody site that said things they didn't like. So yeah, we shall see. So that's it for this video. Just wanted to give my opinion there and see what you thought. So I'll catch you all on another video or another live stream, whatever I do first. Right. See you later. Bye.